going over one of my quote-unquote tips here. This said to fade Pfizer near 36. This was on August 7 of 2015. As you can see, it worked out. Pfizer has gone down about $6 to under 30. Okay, but what caught my attention is that Pfizer and Allergan, in this Reuters article, I was looking up what their breakup fee was if they didn't go through with their deal, and it's only $3 to $4.5 billion if it doesn't work out, so that those broker dealers they get paid out of this. But what I found interesting is, as it went down a little bit further, it says Pfizer's negotiating $370 to $380 for each Allergan share. Well, that threw me off a little bit, because looking back when I said to short Pfizer in August up here near 36, Pfizer's only gone down. I think Goldman pressed them to spend $5 or $6 billion to buy back their own stock. Well, that's not working either. So then Allergan, I went and looked at this and I said, hold on, if they were talking back in November, and when the stock was at 320 and buying up here at 370 and 380, they're $100 away. Now, I'm not implying that you buy Allergan because we're looking at $100 higher. What I'm looking at is what happens if this thing doesn't work out. Now, yeah, fees are paid all the time. In the article, list fees, the biggest fee was about $10 billion. And this just seems to be commonplace now. Another way of getting rid of that offshore cash. Pay an offshore banker, right? Okay, so when I looked this over, I said, well, from my side, the short's working. Well, Allergan's not working either. So in my gut, this thing is not going to work out. Now, there's huge implications on this, because when I look at, here's Pfizer on a weekly. Pfizer on a weekly looks like it's going to lose this. And for those of you that have been watching my videos for the last about a year and a half or so, know that there was something funky in Pfizer I didn't like. Looking at the point and figure charts. Okay, obviously now it's beginning to surface quietly behind the scenes here. Pfizer's not in any shape, and Allergan's even worse looking. So I think what's going on here is this deal is being held up by hope. It's supposed to be settled at the end of the second half of the year, but if this thing doesn't work out, the $4 billion, that's commonplace. That's not a big deal. But then these two go back to what they are doing right now, right? You don't have that hope of a lift. That Allergan is basically just going to come cratering down just from the pattern that I'm seeing here. And Pfizer's already worse looking for this here. Pfizer can fall another 20%. Then I went and looked to see if who had what. Institutions own 90% of Allergan, and insiders barely register, so there's no teeth in the game there, except for in their contracts, probably to say if my company gets bought out while it's under my tutelage, I get a bonus. I'm sure that's in there. And then Pfizer is basically the same thing. 75% institution, insiders barely register there too. So this thing, to me, by how I'm looking at the charts, this thing looks sick, this deal here. Now let's go to the big picture. We go back to the huge numbers again. Here you have Allergan losing more than $1 billion here. Cash is barely a Big Mac. I do feel sorry for the employees, but you have a market cap of $106 billion. Okay, you go to Pfizer, you have 3 times as many employees. They can actually get maybe a Big Mac, and their market cap is 192. So we're talking like $250 billion here of in-play money. So what I'm getting at when this is all said and done is that I don't think this deal is going to come through. And sometime, I have to believe, near July and afterwards, if this thing falls apart, it will pull the rest of the markets down with it, just like in 1987. And look forward to more tips on my websites. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a wonderful trading week.